Hey guys, it's Sasha. The stock market is about to crash. The housing market is about to crash. The US economy and the global economy are also about to crash. Everything you know is going to collapse. Everyone in the US government and the Federal Reserve and the Bureau of Labor Statistics and everywhere else is lying to you. There is a giant conspiracy where tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people sit there creating fake data every day to tell you that inflation is lower than it actually is. The US stock market is manipulated and controlled by the Illuminati, who also pull the strings on every US president and member of Congress. Don't forget that the US dollar is also about to collapse and the default international reserve currency will immediately become the ruble. Michael Berry farted in D minor this morning, which indisputably proves that the biggest recession ever is coming, followed by the biggest ever stock market crash. The New World Order is coming, whatever the fuck that means, but you better believe it and you better be really scared because Ray Dalio keeps saying it to promote his book, and a cabal of lizards is going to come and take over the running of every political and financial institution. If you go on YouTube, this is the sort of shit that gets flung in your face. The biggest creators out there like to dabble in everything is the worst and everything is a conspiracy sort of video, and there are entire channels out there dedicated to producing non-stop flows of verbal diarrhea because panic equals eyeballs. And there is nothing that people love more on the internet than a deep-rooted conspiracy theory with bankers and politicians as the main protagonists. It's all a very effective strategy because all you have to do is tell your viewers that they are lying to you. And to make it extra mysterious, you don't have to actually explain who they is. If you watch my channel, you probably see hundreds of comments regurgitating this drivel every day. Wow, fake inflation, only 4%. Because of course inflation data collated by thousands of people over 100 different categories and hundreds of cities every day is all fake. Because in your local shop, you noticed that the price of eggs went up last week, and that proves everything. The data is contrived to change the formula for inflation to paint a rosy picture. This one is really popular at the moment because people just repeat what they heard on Twitter without taking the time to understand what it actually means or whether it's true. In January, the weights used in the CPI report got adjusted ever so slightly because they always get adjusted to reflect new data. The changes are relatively minor. And the method for the adjustment changed as well to try to make the data more relevant, more representative of the current state of the economy, rather than it be based on the clown market in 2021 when money was flowing from the taps. When we were kids, we learned that crying wolf over and over is a bad strategy because when the shit actually hits the fan, nobody will listen to you because you have been predicting it for the last 10 years already. But internet has proven definitively that the entire thesis of the boy who cried wolf is false because it seems that it is actually a very good commercial strategy to spout nonsense all day, every day, in the knowledge that eventually a market crash will come. And when it comes, it will prove that you were right all along because the market goes up and down and crashes every 10 years. And it doesn't matter if all the conspiracy theories about mysterious overlords ruling the planet or whatever is popular at the moment are never proven because that's the whole point of a conspiracy theory, right? They're all covered up by the FBI or CIA or some other acronym. Everyone is involved. People without even the most faintest understanding of economics will confidently tell you and explain to you how economics works. People who have never studied finance, worked in finance, will teach you all about how banks operate behind the scenes. And I sit here seeing all of this stuff every day, and it just raises so many questions. The first question is, are people actually so gullible as to think this horseshit is kind of true, or is it the modern day escape mechanism from the monotony of everyday life? Are people just so bored of their day-to-day grind that they want somebody to tell them that their misery is not actually their fault? These problems exacerbate when the economy has a downturn, like what we're seeing happen today. This is the time when doom and gloom salesmen get to have their "I told you so" moment, because now there is data that supports that everything that they said, the everything is bad thesis, was true. Look, the stock market is down, GDP is down, and you just have to wait for it because it's actually secret. It's actually going to get a lot worse. If you think this is the bottom, you have another thing coming because the biggest ever stock market crash is on the way. Got to remember to do that face as if you've been constipated for 2 weeks and after taking 10 laxatives, you just felt a sudden bowel movement like This is the sort of time when all the nut jobs crawl out of their mum's basements to tell you to sell all of your stocks and run around panicking, waving your hands in the air. It's usually the same geniuses who told you to buy everything at the very top of the market, because this sort of financial advice works very well with not only the YouTube algorithm, but the algorithm of life. When everything is going up, the economy is doing well, everyone's flush with cash, you gotta go out there and tell everyone that everything is headed to the moon, and they better buy before they miss out. But the moment there is a wobble, the moment the market turns red and drops 15 or 20% from the peak, go and do your best constipation face and go to town telling people to get out of the market before it's too late. If you dare voice the opposite opinion to this, they will send you the meme of that dog sitting in a burning room saying that everything is fine, because everything has to either be the worst ever or you are blinkered and think that everything is fine and you are deluded. There is no in between. And this is a big problem because so many people only started investing in the last 3 years since the start of COVID. All the free investing apps turned up. You can go and open a Robinhood account in 2.3 seconds and invest $10 in whatever meme stock you want. People were sat at home with the US government throwing stimmy checks in their face, and there is only so much money that you can spend on OnlyFans. So eventually we saw an investing bonanza. And as with every bonanza, even though investing as a concept is great and one that most people should be taking advantage of, because people had no idea what they were doing, they started buying up crypto tokens named after fluffy dogs. And they started buying JPEGs of monkeys wearing funny hats. And they invested in a movie theater company in the middle of a pandemic that closed movie theaters because some dudes on Reddit told them to do it. The list goes on. A whole new generation of investors have been battle hardened by losing all of their money in meme stocks and crypto scams. But the worst thing that you can do when you lose all of your money is analyze why you lost all that money. Because God forbid you actually realize that you lost that money because you were an idiot. Instead, it's way better to find a scapegoat. It's not your fault that you bought stock in Bed Bath & Beyond, a company teetering on the edge of bankruptcy, but for some weird reason became almost like a cult, incredibly popular on YouTube. No, it's actually the Fed's fault, because you see, the Fed is intentionally crashing the stock market out of spite, maybe. The level of degeneracy on social media has gone to a level that I thought was impossible. Instead of doing something constructive to improve their finances, people prefer to play victim. A financial downturn is the best time to invest your money. Money that you invest during a bear market will significantly outperform any money that you invest on during the run-up. But OMG, this is some boomer talk right there. Only complete idiots invest in stocks when they are cheap, right? Because they might be even cheaper tomorrow. And if you're not sitting there trying to time the stock market to invest at the very bottom based on imaginary lines that you drew on a chart because 2 points here and here line up, I don't know, then you suck. And you will stay forever poor. That is a very common mantra among this new breed of young impressionable numpties who think that they are sophisticated traders destined for glory. And I guess some of my audience might be in one of these camps, so inevitably by me making this video, I'm shooting myself in the foot, because about 3 seconds into this video, I'm going to get the OMG Sasha, you don't get it, dislike and subscribe. But for those of you still watching, here is my top tip. Ignore the noise. You don't have to buy anything today. And you don't have to sell anything today either, no matter what YouTube is telling you. In fact, successful investors often will go months, sometimes longer, without making any trades other than regular adding to their portfolio. When the market is down and everyone around you is losing their shit, you should be paying attention and getting a bit excited. When all the class clowns turn up saying that the world is about to end and here is the proof, you should begin getting quite interested. It sounds way easier than it is when it happens to you in real life, as many people are now finding out, because all the bullshit noise can be deafening. The stock market will go up, it'll go down, just like it does all the time. And if you watch it every single day, your eyes will try to attribute meaning to random stochastic movements. Short-term stock price movements based on sentiment seem way more important when you're staring at them than long-term optics. And a whole army of idiots will be along in a jiffy to tell you that you are wrong for not selling your entire portfolio. How dumb of you! You are going to lose a boatload of money, and it's obvious because the stock market is about to collapse. Look, here is 100 videos explaining exactly why. It's way harder than you think to keep sane during this kind of time when this sort of thing happens. But follow the tried and trusted method of not giving a fuck. It works every time. That imbecile pops up on YouTube showing you 3 points in the graph that categorically prove a crash is imminent. Turn that video off and do something useful instead. Stop giving a fuck what some random dumbass has to say. Remember, for many of them, the agenda is to agitate. The objective is to get you irate and angry. Because if you get angry, you are going to watch their video all the way to the end, and then you will watch their next video and the one after that. It's funny how people will easily point fingers and tell you that you are brainwashed because you don't think the whole global financial system is a giant conspiracy and we're not actually ruled by lizards and dark cloaks. But the truth is, most of the time, attributing orchestrated malice with thousands of people and thousands of moving parts and incredible levels of difficulty make no sense when basic incompetence, greed, and corruption are far better explanations. Assuming that the Fed is running an extremely complex psychological warfare, whatever, maybe giving them a little bit too much credit, where being a complete dumbass and getting it wrong is actually a far more likely explanation. The whole world might end tomorrow, the dollar might collapse, the stock market might collapse, the economy might collapse, and it will be the worst collapse ever when it happens, but maybe it might not happen. And statistically, it probably won't happen.